My name is David Daniel Ball, and these are the headlines for Friday, the 27th of March, 2009. Bikie stockpiling weapons, preparing for war, says a member. Rudd warns Fitzgibbon, lift your game. Pentagon plans to regrow human body parts. Hackers hijack government classification site. Sexting teen sue over child porn charge. Afghan war could last another decade. And in comments, from Tim Blair, flee Obama land. American readers who've always wanted to visit Australia but were dismayed by the expense, you no longer have an excuse. Teach your children well. Earth Hour looms. What if your kids are into it? NT News cartoonist Colin Wicking has a solution. The damned school has told William all about Earth Hour. He wishes to participate, fine by me, but he'll have to do it in his own room by himself. He won't last 3 seconds in there, especially with me scratching at his door, cackling like a witch. William's is 17, but this should also work on younger children. Desolate Bavarian, by how much did BMW's profit decline last year? 20%? 30%? 40%? 50%? Keep going. Retro Ball, Tiger tragic George Megalogenis previews tonight's season-opening AFL match between Carlton and Richmond. Some 90,000 are expected at the MCG. An estimated $2 million rides on the result. Neither team has made the final since 2001. Basically, some lights will be turned off. The Toronto Star rounds up global plans for Saturday night's Earth Hour. Biscuit band Clover Moore's Tim Tam ban was backed yesterday by World Vision boss Tim Costello, saying, "I don't think any Australian who loves Tim Tams, and I do, wants child labour, sweat and blood on their teeth." Chorus of disapproval for Einfeld, from Andrew Bolt. How utterly selfish is Marcus Einfeld, selfish enough to associate fellow Jews with his lying, using a Jewish choir as a prop to show his goodness. Class war won't work. Former Labour New South Wales Treasurer Michael Costa is right in this instance. Wayne Swan's legislation requiring shareholders to prove executive termination payments worth more than a year's base salary is another political stunt from a government that has run out of economic policy steam. It is arguable that they ever had any. Nitschke's troubling trail of death. When my mother, that's Andrew Bolt's, was just days from dying of cancer, I finally agreed to ask a doctor for help so she could kill herself. Few people could have been more in favor of euthanasia than was I. My only regret back then was that Mum's brave attempt failed and she took more than another week to die. Decades later, I've changed my mind completely. Legalized euthanasia now horrifies me, and not just because I learned much in Mum's last days. In fact, what most influenced me far more has been, ironically, Philip Nitschke, founder of Exit International. It's Australia's most famous lobbyist for euthanasia, who has best shown me how dangerous it can be and what evil might be unleashed in legalizing it. I saw how he started by helping people to die who were not in pain or dying. I saw him move on to helping people to die who were not even sick. Earth Hour for the unearthed. It's Earth Hour tomorrow. Warming warriors, your chance to prove how much you don't care. For a start, you'll prove how much you don't care about being a hypocrite. Last year, people celebrated Earth Hour not just by turning off lights for an hour to save us from global warming gases. They celebrated also by burning forests of candles instead, and this year they'll go one better, by marking it during the Grand Prix amid clouds of burning rubber and sacred exhausts. Still, that's just symbolic hypocrisy. Worse is the hypocrisy that even Earth Hour sponsors have given up hiding. One such sponsor is The Age, which this week printed a 24-page color lift-out to promote tomorrow's stunt, expending more gas in praising Earth than it will save in observing it. Fitzgibbon admits to Chinese gifts. Suddenly, the allegations against Joel Fitzgibbon grow more serious. The future of Defense Minister Joel Fitzgibbon was in doubt last night as he was forced to apologize for failing to declare 2 trips to China he made that were paid for by Chinese businesswoman Helen Liu. Revelations of the trips came after it was reported yesterday a covert investigation by officials from Mr. Fitzgibbon's own Defense Department allegedly unearthed security concerns about his links with Ms. Liu. When questioned yesterday about his relationship with Ms. Liu, whose family has been friends of the Fitzgibbons for more than 20 years, the defense minister said they had exchanged only small gifts. But last night, the minister's office said that following a review, Mr. Fitzgibbon had identified 2 trips sponsored by Ms. Liu that had not been declared to the Registrar of Members' Interests. One reason Fitzgibbon will probably not be cut loose: last year, Mr. Rudd and senior ministers Wayne Swan, Stephen Smith and Tony Burke came under pressure over trips to China paid for by a company run by Ian Tang, an association of Chinese gambling entrepreneur Stanley Ho. The trips were declared, yes, but wasn't the ultimate sponsor of some of Rudd's travel actually the Chinese government? And an update, the Sydney Morning Herald adds Ms. Liu had been mentioned in Australian intelligence reporting regarding her ties to Beijing. She is well connected in China, having rubbed shoulders with a range of senior leaders, including the former Premier Li Peng. Intelligence officials in Canberra have noted Ms. Liu's business activities in contact with Chinese officials in the context of Chinese government activity in Australia. Fake journalist? Jonathan Green, editor of Eric Beecher's Crikey, demonstrates again what Beecher's quality journalism looks like. Just a couple of weeks after his website incited some readers to pose on Andrew Bolt's blog as racist supporters, Green now tells the ABC he posted on Twitter as a fake Pauline Hanson. Guests: fake Stephen Conroy, Leslie Nazar, fake Wilson Tuckey, Anonymous, and fake Pauline Hanson, Jonathan Green. What's more, he admits that he gave as his contact address on Twitter the email address of the chairman of the Fairfax Media Group, Ron Walker. Exactly how many breaches of the journalist's code of ethics does this represent? The sliming of Freeman Dyson, one of the world's greatest scientists, was actually a hero of the left until, well, you know. Lately, however, since coming out of the closet as far as global warming is concerned, as Freeman Dyson sometimes puts it, there's been noise all around him. Chat rooms, web threads, editors' letterboxes, and Dyson's own email queue resonate with a thermal current of invective in which Dyson has discovered himself variously described as a pompous twit, a blowhard, a cesspool of misinformation, an old coot riding into the sunset, and perhaps inevitably a mad scientist. Dyson has proposed that whatever inflammations the climate was experiencing might be a good thing because carbon dioxide helps plants of all kinds grow. Far left losing its grip in media but viciously fighting back by Bill O'Reilly. A recent commentary on NPR by media guy David Folnflick cited the tremendous ratings the Fox News channel is currently getting. That in contrast to the collapse at MSNBC and CNN. As you know, the liberal media ran wild during the election cycle supporting Barack Obama. Because of that, some Obama voters turned into the left media. Apparently, they have left as fast as they arrived. 62 million Americans voted against Mr. Obama, and many of those people are now worried because of the bold moves the president has made. So folks who are uneasy with the direction of the country are not going to watch or read product from news organizations that are in the tank for Barack Obama. That's why some committed left newspapers are failing and the liberal cable networks are getting hammered. That is galling radical left zealots, and they are on the attack. FNC's Glenn Beck is a good example of what's going on. The usual smear merchants on NBC are now attacking Glenn personally, and the internet nutcases are doing the same. The more successful Mr. Beck becomes, the more these people try to hurt him. As we told you on Monday, NBC President Jeff Zucker allows these hateful attacks on a daily basis, forever branding his network as a place of cheap and dishonest discourse. Along with Zucker, former Bill Clinton Chief of Staff John Podesta is also driving the hate industry. Podesta runs the Center for American Progress, a far-left hate group partially funded by our pal George Soros. In addition to working for President Clinton, Podesta was the co-chairman of Barack Obama's transition team. And here is where the story takes a very serious turn. Podesta's website is devoted to hurting any prominent person who disagrees with liberal politics, and that includes critics of President Obama. And Podesta's mainstream media outlet is, of course, NBC News. After we reported on Podesta's deputy, Amanda Turkel, harming a rape victim and her family because of Ms. Turkel's hatred for me, she showed up almost immediately on NBC News. NBC says it has no connection to Ms. Turkel and says I'm disregarding the truth. Sure. Finally, why should we care about any of this? Well, because it's your country. A well-coordinated, well-financed cabal attacking dissent is a pretty big story, especially because it involves Podesta, who has access to the president, and NBC, which along with its parent company General Electric is misusing its power. Bottom line, the far left wants to silence and damage opposition, whether it's Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, Sean Hannity, or anyone else in the public eye, and those people will do just about anything to achieve their goals. Here's a tip: stop watching Letterman.